I am the light of the Leo, but you can call me Jennifer. Um, I am excited to be back. It's been weeks, man. It's been weeks. And do I apologize? Not really, because I've been sleepy, man. And also, I was on vacation. So I know you guys can understand, and I thank you guys for bearing with me. But I'm back, and I'm also back on a new night. Yes, I started doing Monday nights at 9 for this live show. And of course, I do plan on putting out some other content as well that's going to be recorded. But for my live showing, I do want to do Monday nights at 9. So remember to join me then. Doing it on Sundays, my God, it has been a push. But I'm happy that with my lovely brother that I already have here with me, um, we figured out a better way to do this. And I think this certainly is. For some reason, it's kind of easier to go on again after you've just been on. I was just on the Juice Radio and Talk Show for about an hour 30, having good conversation. And I just want to kind of continue this conversation here on the Light of the Leo platform, doing it the Light of the Leo way. So, won't you join me? Go ahead. Wait, hold on. Is Jonathan here? Jonathan is here. Where is he? There you go. Look at him.
Well,
What's
you
up,
asked,
Jonathan?
is Jonathan here? I'm like, were we not just in the green room like 2 seconds ago before the 30 seconds? But I get it. You were looking for the button to press to bring me into the room. So, yes.
Thank you for understanding because not only am I doing this, I am producing as well. So,
Yes,
uh,
absolutely.
at the same time. All right. So let's just get this started.
Can I say that's the perfect picture of a lion for this show? Like, it just looks so majestic and graceful and powerful, and it's
Yeah.
just everything. Like the way that the either the legs look, like the back leg is a little up a little bit, like it looks like it's
Mhm.
walking. It just looks so
Oh,
proud and oh
oh
yes,
yeah. Let me tell
wow.
you so. Yo, believe me, we went through a lot of different lions to try to figure
Okay,
out, exactly how it's gonna look. But
y'all
John,
picked the right one, honey.
man, we did it. And of course, Erin is here.
Hey,
Thank you for
Erin,
joining us,
what's going
Erin.
on, boo?
And oh, you're so sweet, Erin. She said we missed you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew. I know that I matter, but it really does feel good to hear that. Thank you so much, Erin. Um, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I just wanted to really talk about what we can learn from Tamika in the space that she's in right now, right?
Hmm.
If anybody is paying attention, I'm not saying that you would have to be up under a rock to not know what's going on, but it's really loud and out there right now if you are into the social media, if you're on TV and things like that. So basically, right now in the TV sphere, it looks like Tamika Scott of Escape um, is finding space for her own voice
Hmm.
and starting the process of making herself happy, though she was in a um, what would you call that? She was in a space or a way of defending her sister to her detriment. And now she is in a space of starting to fight for self,
Hmm.
and not only fight for self, in the space of her sister, but also their own mother. Unfortunately, her mother wasn't hearing her, at least from what we've seen in the show, Queens of R&B. So, what do you think about this kind of like transformation, and how can this translate to other folks like out there?
Absolutely. I think we can all learn a lesson from Tamika. To be honest, leading up to now, because I haven't watched any other reality shows that Escape has been a part of, or SWB for that matter. So I'm coming into this a little bit blindly. The last type of documentarial style of thing that I saw from them was their Unsung that came
Mhm.
out about maybe 5 to 10, between 5 and 10 years ago. And at that time, they were still broken up. They had not come back together at that time. So I'm still thinking that there's probably issues between Tamika and Candy still, that the sisters are doing okay. I had no idea that they had beef whatsoever. Coming in, Tamika had always been Tasha's pit bull, in my
Yeah.
opinion, because that's how Tamika conducted herself. She was
Yeah.
always coming to her sister's defense, and I get that. I've seen that so many times where someone puts someone else in front of themselves. As long
Mhm.
as she's okay, then I'm going to be okay. But and when you've grown up with someone and you're so close with someone, a lot of times that comes naturally, and that's understandable if it comes naturally. But you have to get to a point where you choose yourself, and I think that we are seeing Tamika choose herself, and I think that she has seen that her support
Mhm.
of her sister has been a detriment to her, and has not served her well. And I'm glad that she's able to see that now. I'm glad, better late than never,
Absolutely.
especially in this case, because, it would have been another thing if she'd come onto the show still defending her sister, still, being her sister's pit bull, still riding for her sister 100%. But, but at a certain time, you have to, I don't want this to sound immature, but you have to become an adult at some point and see
Yeah.
things for what they truly are. And I think that Tamika has had half blinders on. Half of her is writing for her sister, no matter what, right or wrong, she's writing for her sister. But the other half really sees her sister for who she truly is. And it seems as if that Tamika has dropped off the writing for her sister. And now she's just simply seeing Tamika and her mother, for that matter, for who
Yeah.
they truly are because of the way that they are conducting themselves and governing themselves concerning Tamika and her issues towards them. And so,
One
yeah.
thing I will say, when it comes to get into that space, I think a part of this is just the simple fact that Escape was in the process of making money, doing tours, doing appearances and things of that nature, which is, positive for Tamika, having fun. Even, if there's times that her see, come on now, it's contagious, Jonathan.
I'm sorry.
It is
I
contagious.
should I have done this? Should I do this when I yawn from
No,
here on
just
out? Because that's what I was going
do,
to do.
do a whole hand right here.
What was I doing?
You were just doing like this, and I could kind of like see you yawning. I do the whole hand anyway.
Okay.
So, what I do, okay, so they were touring around and making money, and of course, that's positive for Tamika and Tasha, right?
Right.
But when Tasha says, "I would like to stop doing this so I can do that," which is, no problem. But the thing is that you, for some reason, want me to get on your side and mad at the other people, or try to create some kind of dissension so you can go off and do your own thing as well. But the problem with that, where does Tamika come up in
Right.
that space? Tasha doing a solo album does not promote Tamika.
Right.
And, I was thinking about that, like how where's the space for Tamika to look out for herself if she's being the pit bull for her sister?
Right.
And I think that in that space, I believe that's where things might have broken because things were going good. They're getting recognized by Soul Train. Once again, they're having dates, they're touring around a little bit, and the verses that they had with them and SWV was very, very successful for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, with them moving as a unit, here comes another opportunity for money to be made. And that was awesome. I like that one, Jonathan.
Thanks.
That's that's where I believe things kind of like broke, and that broke off from what sister was doing, Tasha was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me figure out what's going on with Tamika in this end. Why isn't Tamika being upheld. And at some point, we all need to see that if we're not championing ourselves,
Right.
no one else going to do it. Even if they're your brother or sister, mama, cousin, sister, brother, daddy, if we're not doing it for ourselves, if we're not setting the precedence saying that I am to be favored in every situation as much as possible, I need to find what's good for me in this moment, in this space. That doesn't degrade anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
but that's still making sure that you're looking out for yourself. Because if you don't, everything will fall by the wayside. And I believe that's something that might have been going on with Tamika for a very long time. And for her to see it now, this also shows a great opportunity for her to be strong for herself as well for her daughters, to be an example, to say, you see all this going on? But what I'm going to do is continue to show respect as much as possible, but
Right. Walk
still
in
be
love.
able to walk in love and give my truth no matter what. And I think I see on her a freedom that she might not be too familiar with at the moment. Because that's why it's so easy to say, because, hey, I started the process. Let me go ahead and continue on with this.
And I feel like there's a flip side to what you just said. You were just saying that, if you don't do it for yourself, then, you can't expect someone else to do it for you. However, it seems like on Tasha's side, she's never had to do it for herself because she's had other people doing it for her. Tamika has always been her ride or die. Her mother has obviously been in her corner since day one. It seems like her husband is one of those who lifts her and seems to have control over her. I say that allegedly because I don't know what their relationship is behind closed doors, but that's just
That's the
what I
perception.
see from
That's the
my
perception.
perspective. Um,
Absolutely.
and that's not healthy either, because you do have to do for yourself and not allow others to do for you, because where is your strength in that? Where is your power, your personal power in that? You're working off of other people's power. The fact that Tamika was able to fight off your enemies for you so that you did not have to lift a finger, what you can you really claim the victory for that yourself, or are you going to have to share that or give that victory to your sister because she's the one that really deserves it?
Or maybe allegedly give her back her money. I don't know.
Well, there's that.
Kayla is here. Hey, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
She says it's sad that it's being aired, and you know what? I certainly can hear you and agree with you in that space. But it's happened. It happened,
Right.
and what I can say to that is that I believe that there are a lot of people that can look at this dynamic and see for themselves, or see, from outside looking in, because for some people, a mother acting like that is normal.
Right.
And, to have other people give their opinions on it, sometimes you might try to see that possibly I could be doing better. Anyway,
Right.
Tammy says, hey, hi, Aaron.
Hey,
Hey,
Tammy.
Tammy. And Kayla also says, why is she doing a solo album when now they are pushing the group?
Right.
Tasha blamed Candy for not wanting to do it years ago. Now everybody is on board and she's clowning. She's selfish. Being selfish. Honestly, Tasha is jealous. That spirit is real.
I
Ooh-wee.
will say that it is pretty smart for Tasha to do what she's doing now because Escape is on a reality show, because they have vision. People are seeing them on TV, so you do have to capitalize on that. And so, when like for instance, they were saying they didn't were able to capitalize on the verses because of their management. So you have to take certain steps when you're in the spotlight to do what it is that you do want to do. So I can't say that I blame Tasha for doing what it is that she is doing, because it is extremely smart for her, because without the show, she probably would not be on anyone's radar at all. If they had not performed at the Soul Train Music Awards, a couple months ago, if Escape was not doing these things that they are doing now, she would not have this opportunity that she does have now. However, I do not feel like it's a good idea for her to pursue it while she is still dealing with Escape the way that she is. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like a good and a bad thing. It's good that she's doing it because it's a good opportunity for her because again the Escape is getting exposure right now.
Mhm.
However, at the same time, because you are trying to do these things with Escape, what time does that leave you to do your solo stuff? So
Yeah,
it's just
also,
two-edged
I feel
story.
like this, like, yeah, just like Jonathan said, I do feel it's smart to try to capitalize on the show, but the
Hmm.
problem is the way that you're moving.
Right.
Because the thing about a reality show, we see way more than you want us to see. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, when it comes down to perception
Hmm.
of reality and what we're all seeing, you have people not even interested in knowing what you got going on.
Right.
And also, I also feel like this, there's an opportunity to do both. You don't have to knock anybody down to do your thing. Either you say, all right, guys, I'm not willing to continue to move on with the Escape stuff. I do want to move forward and do my own thing and just be cut and draw like that.
Right.
That can be respected. Or also say, hey, I want to do this gospel album, but I just want to know how I can figure out doing both. Because I certainly believe it's an opportunity to do both. And even on top of that, what if she could be doing her own music at their shows as well? And from what I heard, they do. So
Hmm.
I believe that if she was okay with going along to get along, make this money, she would have had way more opportunities not only to look favorable but to put her music out. Let me go ahead and do the rest of these comments. Kayla says, "Hey, hey Jennifer. Hey Jonathan. I got caught up. LOL. Hey."
You know.
Ooh, Kayla says it's giving narcissist. Um,
Okay.
Now I need you to be clear. Who's being the narcissist in this space? I want to hear what you got to say with that. Um, Kayla also says she was on R&B Divas and she came off like this as well. Exactly.
Yes, very
She
much
tr-
so.
she tried to place herself above
Hmm.
everybody else as if she was better than others. To be honest, I think we would have seen more of the side that we're seeing now had she been able to be on a second season of R&B Divas. Um, yeah. Mm.
Mm.
Anyway, Kayla also says, I agree, but I've always loved her voice. But by being on TV and her actions, it doesn't seem, wait, does it have me running with my pockets to get her song? Exactly.
Yeah.
Running in her pockets to get her song. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the issue with being on reality TV while you are an artist, because when you're not on reality TV and your personality is a mystery to everyone, then they don't know who you really are, and they won't base their opinions on you based on your personality alone. They base your opinions on you clearly or directly from your music. Like no one knows who Beyonce really is, to be honest. Like no one really knows her personality. At least I don't think I know her personality, or I don't think that she's been able to share that with us. However, she does give it to us through her music, and so that's why we're able to support her the way that we do. But I have a feeling that if some of these artists were on reality TV, we wouldn't be supporting them the way that we really do.
I all the way agree with that. And yeah. Oh, she said the mother. She said the mother is
Okay,
giving narcissist.
okay, I see that.
I think that's possible. But certainly favoritism. A lot of that.
Yes, very much so, very much
And
so.
it's unfortunate. But yes.
It's so unfortunate because to me, that favoritism from a mother is like a whole nother level of abuse, in my
Mm,
opinion. She's abusing Tamika. The way that she is
allegedly.
constantly alleged. Is
Let me go ahead and put this thing.
okay, yeah, allegedly.
Keep on,
Because
Jonathan.
yeah, I get it, but the way that she's always taken Tasha's side. And Tamika said it before she even got into her mother's house. Tasha has always been our mother's favorite, so she set us up for what it is that we were going to see before our very eyes. And When you are dismissive, brutally dismissive of one child over the other at the expense of another, um, it's not a good look, especially on TV, especially on TV. And it's going to have people looking at you like you crazy, Mama Gloria, like you crazy. And it doesn't
It's sad.
look good at all. And it's going to, and that's why I'm so happy for Tamika, because I've watched a couple of reviews thus far, and it seems like the majority of the people who are watching this show are on Tamika's side. And I'm so happy that Tamika has a community of people that are backing her up the same way that she was backing Tasha up in the back in the day.
Absolutely. And gosh, I'm just happy that she's finding her voice. And it's like,
Yes.
it's one thing to have a voice, but when you speak up for other people at all times rather than yourself, your
Hmm.
voice is being hijacked.
Yes.
And she is now using her voice to defend herself.
Right.
And showing her beautiful children that yes, you can have a disagreement with your family, but and you can remain respectful as possible. The only reason why the mother did not want them to be in the house any longer is because the truth allegedly was coming out. There was too
Right.
much truth being had. There was no disrespect over there, at
Hmm.
though they want to say that, but there was no disrespect. And I say that because truth hurts.
It
Truth
does.
truth can feel like disrespect. Truth can feel like a sword going right into your abdomen.
Right. And what I'm loving is that Tamika is going about this in the right way, because Tamika comes off as the type of person who could take this totally left in a Real Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac type of way and
Mhm.
just be gutter but ugly towards her mother and her sister. She could really do that and show off in front of these cameras on this good Bravo TV show.
Okay.
But she's doing things like an adult.
As
She's
she
doing
should.
things like a Christian woman would. She's
As she
doing
should.
things like a grown woman. She's handling it like a grown
Like a
woman would.
well-adjusted woman.
And a woman
Somebody
who
in with healthy relationships.
Right. And a woman who has had growth. Because as we've said, as we mentioned on the Juice Radio and Talk show, when the producers brought up that issue that she talked about Candy years and years and years ago, Tamika said, no, 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 we're not going back there. We are way past that. We have both moved forward. We are both grown from that. And that is in our past, in our rear view. And that shows the immense growth that Tamika has had. And I'm so proud of her, and I support her 1000% in her efforts.
Absolutely. And Kayla says, also what you see in some black parents choosing favorites, which is certainly sometimes we see it in a lot of households, every household, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Any household that is, you know what, I'm not even trying to diagnose that, but it's true. It's certainly happening in households. And for us to be able to see it on TV, I think
right,
is awesome. It though, it might not be all that great for the family that's being on blast or whatever, but
right.
it's awesome for the rest of the country and anybody who's watching it, because some people are able to finally see what that looks like because they've never had it in their own homes, so that they can really empathize with people that's been in a house like that. And
Hmm.
also it's for people that live in a house like that, and they will be able to see like a mirror and be like, oh wow, this is what's going on in my house.
Yeah, this could
And
be an aha moment for those people
exactly.
who never really recognized it for what it truly was. But when you see it on TV, through another family's perspective, that will open your eyes to a lot of things. And then that will allow
Absolutely.
you to then address those issues that you have in your own family.
Exactly. Kayla says, which comes from trauma. Tamika may look like her dad, and those feelings were probably pushed on her. And I believe it,
Mm,
because we were close to Tamika's father. We've
yes.
actually like went on vacation together close. And you know, they know of the trauma going on and they never told us anything.
Right.
They, they just said the truth will come out, and we just waited because I'm not a kind of person to press. I would never. But
Right.
seeing how it did play out, so many things started to make so much sense, and it even redeemed Candy in this space. We all thought that
Absolutely.
Candy was just like doing the most, and it just didn't seem like it from how she acted on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. But of course, we never know. We don't see her every day.
Right.
But now it's like it's really starting to make more and more sense. Hey, Brittany.
Hey, Brittany. Hey, Boo.
Welcome.
One of my favorite Aries.
Kayla says the mama shouldn't have told Tasha she was should have told Tasha she was wrong instead of saying you don't know her circumstances. The mom didn't deny it.
Right, she didn't. And it
And that,
seems like she
no,
actually confirmed or confirmed it with her text messages to Mika. Maybe she needed the money more than you did. Who said that sounds like an admission of guilt, in my opinion.
child.
And if it did happen, of course, the mother would know about it, especially if as close as Tasha and her mother seem to be. Of course, Tasha's mother would know about it. So,
Yes.
now,
Kayla says feel like a slap in the face.
right,
Like I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But this is why I'm so happy that Tamika found her voice and she was able to say what needed to be said in at the most respectful way possible.
yes, right,
Because there's plenty of other people that would have been fighting, kicking, and all that stuff to try to make their voices heard. But that was a space where her mama wasn't even trying to hear her because
no,
she knew and did not acknowledge anything that Tamika was saying. I can't imagine the frustration that she
right,
feels, but all of it is warranted because did you see that? It's
yeah.
just too much. Brittany says, "Oh, love y'all. Love you
We
too."
love you too, Brittany.
Mm. Anywho, but I just it is a positive moment, a negative moment that can be turned positive
Right.
because I truly believe that people can certainly be set free by this space and time
Yes.
in this moment. Hello, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I truly believe that people can be set free in this space, even though your situation might not be as dire or even worse than what Tamika's going through. There is space and time for you to speak up for yourself and to take the power back.
Right.
Because I don't know, y'all need to go on YouTube and see Tamika's YouTube video that she did with her and her daughters, talking about the situation, talking about the issue, the things that the producers didn't show, even talking about
Right.
how she did apologize to her sister about the comment, but she wanted to continue to push on with the narrative because
Right.
of course it serves Tasha.
Exactly.
So
She
of
wants
course
to
she
be
wants
seen as the victim. And
exactly.
that's the worst move, in my opinion, for someone to take, to
Mm-mm.
choose to be the victim rather than the victor. I'm sorry, that'll never be a choice that I'm going to make.
But this is also telling though,
Mm-hmm.
because you can see that Latasha is in a competition. And if you
Oh, yeah.
listen to the kind of conversations, even on that show, the kind of conversations that she has with her husband, you can see how he's trying to separate things even further,
Right.
trying to push her away from everything that she's made money with for her to do something else by herself, which is, I it don't make sense.
Right.
I don't believe that's a smart manager. Um, let me see. It's annoying to me. Brittany says the mom definitely didn't deny it, which is
Right.
questionable. Just
Hmm.
wow. Proud of her for being honest and gaining back what she lost in that situation.
Yes.
Absolutely. Gaining back her voice. That's amazing. And then for her to do it on such a platform where she now has an opportunity to get the backup that she may need. She may need a little bit more wind in her
Right.
wings because of what she decided to do in that space and time. And I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. And like I said, anybody can take their time back, reclaim their time.
Yes.
Anybody can do that. And it's about, number one, doing what Tamika did, living the truth. That's the most powerful part. When you start off with the truth,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how ugly, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how it may make you feel, the release is your release.
Right.
The release of that thing that happened, whether it been traumatic, petty, no matter what, and no matter how long you've been doing it. Because for Tamika, it's been pretty much all her life fighting for her
Right.
sister, doing things that she should not have done. She's finding her redemption in taking care of herself. Whether you're in a marriage, whether you have children, whether you take care of parents and things of that nature, you deserve to have you.
Right.
You deserve to have your freedom to say what needs to be said. You deserve to be respected and your boundaries to be respected. You deserve those things. And the only way to even find what your boundaries are is if you start to truth with yourself and get to know yourself even the more, so you can say, you know what, this is not for me. I don't want that in my life, and I don't want this. And
Right.
if you decide to bring it into my life, you will not be allowed any longer. To God be the glory.
Absolutely.
And absolutely. And Brittany says, absolutely. Hashtag your voice matters,
Exactly.
especially to yourself.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Because at the end of the day, no one's going to speak louder or more powerfully for you than you. And so you have to take that opportunity to stand up for yourself. And once again, that's why I think this is so beautiful for Tamika, because we're
Mm,
seeing her truth and we're seeing her in her, it seems like it's her best moment, but she's still on that climb. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not
yeah.
there yet, but she's working
It's
there.
the
And
beginning. It's a
yes,
start. And
and to
that's what we all
see
need.
this process working in real time, well, not necessarily real time because this is all recorded, but real time,
It's in front of
somewhat,
us. Yeah.
it's amazing to see, and it's so uplifting to see as well. It's like, we all have the power to do this for ourselves, and we don't owe anyone anything. Technically, we do not. We may feel as though we have a sense of loyalty towards someone, so
Hmm.
we feel like we owe them, but you really don't owe anything to anyone but to God and yourself. So,
And
focus on you.
she's doing it, in my opinion, in the most difficult space to do it, and that is with family.
Absolutely.
That's the
Absolutely.
most difficult, which is, I believe, another reason why it took so long for her to get here. Because when you think about family, you think about what it should be. And if you're
Right.
not getting that, you sometimes ignore those things and ignore yourself and your needs. But you still yet deserve to be respected. You still deserve everything that you need to be happy. And if
Right.
it takes going against a family member, so be it. Um, Kayla says, I didn't like that they attacked her when oh, okay. I didn't like that they attacked her then when they stated that ugly truth. Yeah. Um,
Hmm.
wait, hold on. Where am I reading this from? It's coming from two different places. Okay. Oh, that they want the cameras out. Yeah, when she said that alleged stuff, and they wanted the cameras out. They would disrespect her. Uh, uh, they would disrespect he run from her. Oh, they would disrespect her right in front of her kids. Yeah.
Hmm.
When Tamika looks bad, cameras on, but when the tables are turned, get the cameras out of my house.
Right.
Nah, Miss Ma'am. Listen to this. I can hear you, Kayla. I can hear you right now. Um, but yeah, like so when I am being attacked it's okay because we're on while we're on camera. But
Hmm.
when you feel away and I say what I have to say to you, shut it down.
Right.
Not in my house. And
Not in my house.
And see, this is what messes me up about the whole situation. I personally believe that the only reason why her mother was okay with filming in that house was to pr- push and promote Tasha.
Right, of course.
And as
She
soon as
was
it wasn't
going
that anymore, I'm done.
she was going to make sure that no matter what, Tasha came out looking good at the end of their scene that they were going to shoot. She was going to make that her mission, and she probably insisted that the meeting happen at her house for that reason.
Absolutely.
Because if it's in her house, then she's got the ball is in her court, and she has say so as to what's going to go down, and so that's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Regina says, "Hi, y'all.
Hey, Regina.
Hey." Um. So I just want to go ahead and wind this down because I want another bowl of Alfredo and and broccoli. So what I wanted to make sure that I got across was that your time, I mean, it can be now if you choose so. But what we saw on that TV show with Tamika was her taking her strength back, starting the process of taking her strength back, taking her life back, and being able, oh, excuse me, and taking her voice back from her
Mhm.
own sister, um, so that she can look out for herself. I would hope that we would start the process of thinking and remembering that being selfish is not exactly a bad thing,
Amen.
because
Amen to
we
that.
we must consider ourselves. No matter what other responsibilities that we have in life, if we are ignoring ourselves in the process, we are digging ourselves a deeper and deeper hole of misconceptions, sadness, depressions, and things of that nature, because we need to feed ourselves what we need to continue to be happy in our lives. Especially as women, sometimes we tend to ignore everything else and forget ourselves. This is another reason why this topic is on the Light of the Leo show, because I support shining your light. I support being yourself and feeding yourself what you need
Hmm.
so that you can be happy. Giving out the boundaries that you need to be happy, because you matter. When you are your best self, you are the best mother. You are the best wife. You are the best daughter, sister, when you feed yourself. So continue to feed yourself the oxygen before you try to give somebody else the air to breathe.
Right.
Go ahead, Jonathan. Any last words from you?
Absolutely. Root for yourself, and yeah, just see yourself in a different light. See yourself, think of yourself higher. Not only should you think of others higher, but think of yourself as higher, and not make yourself the lowest common denominator. Because a lot of times, many of us do that. We don't push ourselves, we don't uplift ourselves, and we feel like we have to uplift others. But sometimes we don't get that same thing in return. So, if you're going to uplift anyone, uplift yourself and then uplift others as well. So sometimes you do have to put yourself first, and there is nothing wrong with that in some
Mm,
cases. To be
in
selfish is
most
not
cases.
always a bad thing. Being selfish is not always a bad thing. You have to think of yourself, just like in the airplane. When them gas masks come down, you got to be able
It's oxygen, baby. It's not gas.
oxygen mask, yes. When those oxygen masks drop, you got to be able to put that oxygen mask on yourself first before you help anyone else. So, you got to think of yourself first.
Think of yourself. And once again, that does not make you selfish. That makes you mindful. Okay.
Yes.
It makes you mindful of yourself. Because if I start to ignore myself, you know what happens? My husband Tyrone has to start looking at me and saying, "Why are you still in this house? Get out the house." What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Why aren't you? You know, at least I do have somebody that is looking out for me in that way. But if he's saying something, it's gone too far. So once again, love on yourself. You're good. All right. I really do appreciate you guys for joining me. I'm always very flattered to have you guys with me every single time. And if you guys have any other like topics that y'all want me to speak on, us to speak on here on the Light of the Leo channel, I have no problem doing that. You can put it in the comments. You can send me something in you know what it's called, Instagram, DMs on the Instagram. I'll certainly hit up on that. Or TikTok, DMs on TikTok as well. It's all at the Light of the Leo, just like it is on my YouTube at the Light of the Leo. So join me there, hit me up there so that we can get the conversation going. We can talk more about great stuff. Jonathan, give us your spiel.
Absolutely. Please join me on YouTube. My YouTube channel is JoJo Speaks. So look for JoJo Speaks on YouTube. Type it into the search bar. It should pop right on up. I post videos every Thursday night at 9:30 with hot topics and social commentary with my co-host Genesita to my I guess she's to my left on the screen. So yes, to my left, as well as my brother-in-law Tyrone and our friend Mike. Last week we discussed the Alex Murdaugh case. We also discussed the first episode of the Escaping SWV Queens of R&B show, as well as the Real Housewives of Potomac third part reunion. So check out our opinions on those topics. Again, JoJo Speaks on YouTube. Please subscribe, share, comment, post, all that good stuff. Let people know that JoJo Speaks is out here in these streets. You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_Speaks3020. I'm also on Facebook, Jonathan Lee, and my email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. Hit me up if you need anything.
All right. You guys, like I said, you can follow me on at the Light of the Leo. Instagram, YouTube, as well as TikTok. That's where you will find me. And lastly, I just want to remind you guys, if you would like to join us for prayer and stuff like that, we certainly do have our prayer on family. Oh gosh, our family and friends prayer on Faithful Warrior Ministries. We go live every Saturday at 10-ish a.m. Okay. Every single Saturday, whether we're on vacation or not, we are on there. Faithful Warrior Ministries, prayer and podcast. Just join us. You'll enjoy it. We are a little silly in the morning because, that's just when I'm waking up. So, get a little talkative, unfortunately. And you'll see Jonathan do a lot of this. All right. Let me get these last little bit of comments before we hit it. Aaron says, "Hey, Regina." And Erin says, "Thanks for a great night." No problem.
No problemo.
And she also says, "You both helped me with your talk about talking." Oh,
I'm glad we were able to do that for you, Aaron. And Aaron, I want to know really quickly, what's your zodiac sign? I don't know if you've said it before. Has she mentioned her zodiac before?
I don't remember.
Okay, I'm just curious, Aaron. If you want to let us know, or tell me on Instagram, DM me.
Yeah, DM him on the Instagrams or whatever. Alrighty, we're gonna get out of here. Bye-bye now.
Bye, y'all.
It's been real.